In the months of February and March 2025, within Nairobi region, we have had two fatal accidents connected to presidential motorcade. I want to comment on it. Of the two, I have no connection with any of the two, but you find that I found that it started with the NIS people. Now it has gone through all the security people. That I was somewhere. Anyway, I was in vigilance headquarters the other time, and we were talking, and I mentioned something, and the fellow said, "Are you sure you don't have something in your pocket that you are recording?" Some of the things I talk are too close to the truth that people, especially in the security business, think that I have uh, inside information. Some of these things you just talk as an expert, and it becomes that it is very, very much near the truth. So mine is just an assessment, nothing more. I have nobody who is close to the case who has the two cases who has told me, and so mine is just an approximation. Kindly understand us that I want to talk about the two fatal accidents within 2 months that cover the presidential motorcade. Mine is an expert opinion, and I do not have a direct access to these particular two cases. I am saying this on strict experience as a VIP protection expert. First and foremost, I would want to advise anybody. I would want to advise anyone who is at or near presidential motorcade to exercise great caution. To exercise great caution. Presidential vehicles are supposed to be very fast. I want to tell you that if you find time and you have bundles, kindly go to YouTube and ask for secret service drivers in the USA. Where the president is, expect the fastest driving for security purposes. Because there is a time when, for security purposes, the president has to be evacuated in milliseconds. So anytime you hear the president is around and there was whatever, just be prepared for any time any vehicle can start off. And all those vehicles, there are those who can move from 0 to 120 in 2 seconds. 0 static to 120 kilometers per hour. So that is what I'm saying. First and foremost, I would advise everyone at or near presidential motorcade to exercise great caution. I must also, as an expert, comment. I must also, as an expert, comment Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta motorcade, which on one occasion was very much alert that a man jumped into the motorcade and the presidential motorcade reacted in milliseconds and no accident happened. What do I mean by no accident happens? Accidents can happen in two ways. That man who jumped into a motorcade, he could be hit. He could be hit by the fast moving vehicles. Actually, he had even timed the president's own limousine, President Uhuru Kenyatta's limousine. So if you time that one, and it can hit you and kill you. but the driver was so alert that he did not even hit that person. The other thing is the motorcade. I also want to congratulate the motorcade, Uhuru Muigai's motorcade, that such a sudden stop, you would have found a pile up of vehicles. Several of them, this one hits the other one hits the other one, but no vehicle hit each other. I would be unfair if I did not thank the driver who was driving the president's limousine. I would also be unfair if I will not thank those other drivers in the motorcade, because they would have really hit. I mean, okay, the presidential limousine would not have stepped on that person, but there would be a pile up of other vehicles hitting each other. The level of alertness on that day is just way behind. I would really thank them. I don't know, but in case anybody knows them, or in case they come across this video, they did a lot of things. I hope I'm clear about that. So leave alone a crash pile up, deaths is a high possibility as seen in the what I'm saying, that in a presidential motorcade, and I've said it, I'm repeating it. The best advice I would tell you, just don't go, because as we will study these two occasions where the base commander, Chief Inspector Obala, was hit, and also the philanthropic guest who was hit at Adams, we look at it that there is the high possibility of being hit is very high, and also because the vehicles are going very fast, you'll find that, especially the case of this foreigner, his body was stepped on by very many vehicles, because they're in a very quick. By the time I'm even sure that apart from the driver who hit him, I would the driver. There is even a very minor possibility that the driver who hit him didn't know. But the second vehicle and all other subsequent vehicles that hit him, hit the foreigner, it is a very much likelihood that they thought that they had stepped on a bump or a road that is spoiled. That is a very high possibility. But let me start with the Chief Inspector Obala. I understand that the family is concerned about a cover-up. Yes, in my opinion, there is a cover-up. But the reason that I suspect the cover-up to be is not the same reason that the family believes. My opinion, which may be wrong, is that once Chief Inspector Obala was hit, once he was hit by that vehicle, I'll come to that vehicle. There is a vehicle that had nothing to do with there is that vehicle that had nothing to do with the motorcade. I'll come to that. Once it hit him, now there is a problem here, because there is all the trainings I had in Kiganjo, GSU training school, CID training school, special branch training school, and even VIP protection. You are given guidelines, but you are never told everything. There are some things that happen, and you have to use your own initiative. PI is that stands for personal initiative. Now, after being hit, there is a law that says unless you have a cause to believe that the person who has been hit by the vehicle is dead, if for any reason you think he's still alive or anything, then any driver is supposed to take the person to the nearest hospital. Any even bypassing vehicle. If there is somebody who has been hit on an accident and they stop you and you're a driver and you don't stop, that is criminal. So next time you're driving around and you see somebody there, it is both good to offer yourself to take the person to hospital, or two, the law also covers you. If you leave a person to die on the road, then there is a law. So the reason why I think there is a cover up here is that the police officers who are there were concerned. You see, there is a concern about the president's security. Now, if all of you rush the person who is sick, who has been hit by a vehicle, if somebody is hit by a vehicle and all of you rush there is a possibility that you may expose the security of the president. And it may work. How do you know that the accident, like this fellow here, he was stopped by a traffic police officer on foot. He did stop. You clear the road. Most of the reason why the roads are cleared when the president is for two reasons. The roads are cleared for the security of the president, and another thing is that the roads are cleared because the president is in Kibera and is supposed to go to the other side of the town. Now, if he is in the traffic jam, you see there is that problem. I hope you understand. So that is why there is that clearance. But then somebody from a side comes there. For the first time, you don't have to assume anything. Maybe it is a drunk person, maybe it is a bang smoke or anything. But the worst thing is maybe this is somebody who wants to harm the president. So this fellow was stopped by a patrolman on foot. He ignored. A motorcycle rider stopped him. He did not. The base commander, with all his madaraka and whatever, he thought that by being seen, maybe the driver would take him seriously. Then he hit him. And this is my estimation. He is being seen by CCTV there. The vehicle is being seen by CCTV there. So when he's hit, now here is what we call kizungumukuti. Do traffic police officers now organize for this person to be taken to the hospital? Or do they mind about the security of the president? Because you never know. It could be a terrorist out to make you so that you take this person to hospital, you leave the president exposed. So in my view, which may be wrong, is that the traffic police officers left him to die on the road, minding about the president's security. Now, if the CCTV are produced or anything, then you see, and Kenya, we have a very robust, we have all the robust human rights organization that would rush and start saying, now you see they are leaving this person to be dead. To me, I believe that is the whole thing that happened, and the reason, if you ask me, from unless I get a more convincing reason, is that they don't want to expose the CCTV, because even if they expose the CCTV, say, hey, Watenge, wewe mbona ulipita huyu amegongwa na gari na hukuchukua hatua yote. So if there is a hiding of the CCTV or anything, it is the CCTV discloses the number plates of government vehicles that bypassed this Chief Inspector Obala dying and without taking any action. Because once those CCTV are exposed, when they are exposed, people are supposed to be taken to court. This is also applicable to the foreigner at Adams Arcade. You see the issue here. I said that the security of the president is paramount, and people are in a very high speed to go from point A to point B. The first vehicle that hit him, when we come to, even if it was a slight hitting, the first vehicle that hit him, hit the foreigner, is the one that is guilty of the road accident. Others are just came and found things the way they are. So if at all the government will not produce the CCTV for the foreigner who was stepped on by various vehicles at Adams Arcade, is to avoid a situation where members of the presidential escort would be taken to court for causing an accident. That is what I believe. And why was he stepped on by various vehicles? They are very close and they are moving very fast, such that the only case I've seen, or at least in the near past, is that one which I've said about President now retired President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, where the driver saw the person and stopped immediately. That place, especially if you are crossing the maybe presidential escort vehicles don't observe traffic lights. They don't observe what do you call? They don't observe these zebra crossing and something like that. So that is what I tend to believe happened in Adams Arcade. For one to be approved to join the presidential motorcade, not just as on a permanent basis, because the president may come to your area and maybe you are the area MP, area senator or something. Your vehicle has to be, because we don't want to have a vehicle that stalls and or the fuel is half tank or something like that. It has to be a state of art vehicle, and when ikiwa ni kusonga ni kusonga. I remember one time my friend, they call it BFF. There's one time my friend Mapolomoko Mad drew, I think it was a story by the late Whispers, but the drawing was drawn by Mapolomoko Mado, where he was saying that when President Moi's motorcade was leaving, he took his kamukebe and started following there. And Moi looked at the side mirror and said, "Hey, uchumi ni mbaya. If the presidential escort vehicles are now working with that." But that was a joke between Whispers and Mapolomoko Mad. But I think the point is home, where I'm saying that for such a vehicle to be there, it has to be well maintained and with a full tank. We also have to understand that for security reason and time factor, the motorcade has to move very fast. And even when there is an accident, the motorcade does not stop because they are in a hurry to go elsewhere. And also, as I've said, stopping, who knows, maybe it would be a terrorist ambush. So it is a terrorist ambush. And I've said that it is alleged that the first vehicle to hit him in Adams has been identified. Well, that is good, although to me I would have expected it not to be identified, because who knows, maybe that is a very senior driver in the presidential motorcade. After all, such an accident, maybe insurance cover could cover that. I don't know, but I'm surprised to hear that the vehicle that hit him first has already been identified. It could also be that the vehicle that hit him first is maybe these vehicles of people who are around. You see, for example, if you don't belong to the presidential escort and you're in that motorcade and then the CCTV. Anyway, I don't know. Let me not continue further because they say they have already identified who did that. To me, it is a wonder. To explain why he was hit by several vehicles, I've said, because the vehicles are bumper to bumper and the speed is 120. All in all, condolences to the two affected family, and any other victim who may not have been reported. We only know this because it has been reported. There are very many cases which may include the presidential motorcade, but it has never been reported. My last question to all: must you attend presidential roadside shows? Well, we have had cases where people lose their phones. We have very we have cases where looting is happening and whatever insecurity happens after the president has left. If it is a stadium or anything, well, that is well and good. But roadside shows, is it compulsory? Is it necessary? I don't think so. Have a nice time. As I said, condolences to the two. It is really painful to lose a member of family, especially through sudden death.